back here with another episode of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in here today. Real exciting episode for me personally. Going to talk a little college football with the Orange Bowl boys. I'm a huge Hurricanes fan, as most of you guys know. A little disappointing season, but real excited to talk to these guys. They have some Northeast connections as well. So we're going to chop it up with Roe and Toast. 2/3 of the Orange Bowl boys. Scoop can't make it out tonight, but before we get into that, we're going to shout out some sponsors. We got Shady Shafts. Make sure you guys go and check out shadyshafts.com. I recently got a package in the mail just today from Shady Shafts. Hooked me up with a nice little koozie, and inside this koozie here, we actually have some of his products. Obviously, with the Pitch Putt and Puff, RGB goes with the flower option and smoke effect, customized with the RGB right on there. So I'll be putting these on a couple of my clubs for this upcoming season. Real excited about these. Pretty cool. Something different that no one up here is going to have until you guys go and order from shadyshafts.com. Use promo code PUFF20. Save yourself 20%. Make the game exclusive to you. Bring your personality to the game a little bit with these. There's an option for every golfer out there. There's camouflage options. There's options for the females with flower patterns and martini glasses. So go and check them out. Perfect little stocking stuffer. shadyshafts.com, promo code PUFF20. Also, got to give a shout out to Back Nine Botanicals. Make sure you guys go and check these guys out. I used these quite a bit when I was down doing the Christmas trees. The Moonlight Mulligan. That's one of my favorites. It was great for sleep. It was real busy down there, and it was really all the hustle and bustle. A little bit different sleep style than I'm used to. So those are definitely the CBN, and those was definitely helped me get some good sleep out there and down there in the city. When you definitely need it when you're getting rid of about 220 Christmas trees in a week span, delivering them. So a lot of work going on down there. Shout out to NYC Trees and H Money as well. But back9botanicals.com, use promo code TPUFF10 and save yourself 10%. They're going to be coming out with some THC shooters, the 5-hour energy drink style shooters. So go and keep your eye out for those. TPUFF10 will save yourself 10% at checkout. And then going to give a shout out to my man over at Berkstop Candles. Hooked me up with a beautiful candle here. The Clubhouse. This is leather, tobacco, and oak. Perfect for every man cave. He has a few other scents available. Another great stocking stuffer. So go and check him out, berkstockcandle.com. He does have a promo code of PPP20 running through the holidays. So go and take advantage of that as well. Going to get into it, though, here with the Orange Bowl boys. Like I said, real excited about this one. Been following these guys since the jump. Huge Canes fan myself. Like I said, season wasn't the greatest, but we're going to chop it up with these guys and get their thoughts. Roe does a breakdown of the game afterwards. The student of the game, where he really breaks down everything. His knowledge of football. He's a former quarterback, so he's got some knowledge of the game. And then Toast, just a diehard fan, and pretty much just like me, sit back, relax, watch the game. But watching the Canes the past 20 years hasn't been too relaxing, especially this year. Right down to the stretch, and can't get it done in Syracuse out of all places. I'm so actually glad I did not go to that game this year. I debated it very heavily, especially with the Canes on such a good run, but decided to not be a mush and go to the game, and still we ended up losing anyway. But we'll talk a little bit about the Canes here in college football with the Orange Bowl boys. Back here on the Pitch Putt and Puff, I'd like to introduce the Orange Bowl boys. We got Roman and Toast. What's up, fellas? Appreciate you jumping on.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Raj? I appreciate you having us on. And
no,
I love
man,
this
is
shirt,
awesome.
by the way.
Oh yeah, man.
I beat your shirt.
Nice.
You got version 1. I got version 2.
Yeah, the OG, man. It's I've been following you guys literally since the jump. Being a Canes fan, I've been a Canes fan. The way I became a Canes fan was my father was a Notre Dame fan, and I didn't want to like all the same teams as him growing up. And when I was a kid, I forget what game it exactly was, but Miami put a whooping on Notre Dame. And I said, you know what? And they're dancing around and all that. I said, that's the team I'm going to like right there, Dad. And he hated it from that point on, but I've been a loyal Canes fan. As you can see, my signed Kenny Phillips jersey in the background and all my banners. The whole other side of the room is all Canes shit as well. So, but diehard Canes fan for sure. So how did you guys get into the whole podcasting thing? How did that all come about and the whole Orange Bowl Bulls?
That's amazing. Kind of similar story too. Yeah, similar story. My grandfather was a Nebraska fan, and next thing you know, he's like, "Hey, you want to come watch college football?" And I'm like, "This option football is kind of boring. You had a team that throws the ball. And it was the Miami Hurricanes, and they just beat them in 1983. So similar stories. Yeah, we're acts of rebellion against it,
Yep.
but we love our Canes.
Love them. Love them.
Yeah,
What about you, Toast?
For me, actually, I think we might have, and I don't know if we're the same age, but I think we might have bonded over the same Notre Dame game. So I was raised Roman Catholic.
Mhm.
So a lot of my family were Notre Dame fans. And I did not get along with a lot of my family, including my old man at a young age. So I would do anything to be the opposite. And I remember watching Miami lay down a 20-0 whooping on Notre Dame. And my dad was cursing from that moment forward. I was a Canes fan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
I'm a Canes fan because I had a very healthy relationship with my father.
That's the thing. Like me and my old man, like I grew up like in the Giants with like him, the Yankees like him, being from upstate New York here. And then he was a Knicks fan. And after that, Van Gundy, like I grew up a Jordan follower. I didn't really have an NBA team. So I used to like Jason Williams, white chocolate from the Sacramento Kings. So I kind of followed him around his career. And then when he ended up with the Heat, I started liking Dwayne Wade. And then Pat Riley has ties to this area. Ro, as you probably know, Pat Riley's from Schenectady. So I kind of kept my loyalty to the Heat and then my Hurricane ties and stuff. So I was like, you know what? So my dad's a Knicks fan. I'm a Heat fan, and Canes Notre Dame. So it's going to be fun season opener next year.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Al Golden's still the defensive coordinator there too.
Man,
Al Golden. Coach?
You think he'll get a head coaching job? I mean, he wasn't a bad head coach. He just was so stubborn on getting rid of D'Onofrio.
Did him in.
Tough. Did him in.
Totally did
really
him in.
It did him in.
Now he turns around and twist of irony. Now he's on the Broyles Award and Shannon Dawson isn't. So that's after Shannon Dawson turns in the #1 offense in the country. So what a kick in the nuts that is.
Really.
Well, the only offensive coordinator they put up was the guy from Arizona State. And does he even call the plays, or does Dilly call the plays?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Whatever.
Unbelievable. So let's get into a little bit of the Canes. First off, for the first time in a long time, it was a fun season. It was a fun season to actually sit down and enjoy watching good quarterback play, pretty decent play calling from the offensive side. But what do you guys think of your breakdown of the whole season?
Well, for me, dude, I'll be honest. This is the most fun I had watching the Canes in better part of 20 years. This was more fun than 2017 because we didn't have an offense that year. It was that, just horrific Rick offense. Mm-hmm. This was literally just fun every Saturday. And yeah, the last few weeks sucked, but I'm not going to, I had so much joy watching this team this year. So many fun moments. Yeah, just a great time.
Yep. What do you got, Rob?
Similar, that was Toast mentioned it, the prehistoric offense. You got to have like the kind of fun offense now with Cam Ward. I felt he was a Heisman hopeful. And, on the Orange Bowl boys early on, probably by week 4, I was like, boys, we have a national championship caliber offense. And ended up being the #1 offense in the country. And obviously it could have carried its weight in a playoffs if we had a formidable defense. But still, 10-win season of potential, if Cam Ward plays in the bowl game. To get to 11 wins. And if you get to 11 wins and you keep marching forward, I mean, this is the trajectory you want from the Miami Hurricanes. I had fun, especially doing Student of the Game, the film breakdown on YouTube. I loved it. Every week was fun just watching what Cam Ward could do. It was like a treasure. It really was.
Mm-hmm. He did make a couple bonehead decisions with throwing across the field in certain games and certain things, but like the way he'd get rid of the ball and extend a play with flipping it to, I think it was might have been a Royu on that one play in one of the games against Duke or something. We're literally just keeping plays alive, something we haven't seen from a quarterback in, I think, ever at Miami, the way he was doing it. De'Aaron King was the closest thing we had with the mobility and such, but he couldn't sling it the way Cam Ward was for sure. But so yeah, you guys think we're going in the right direction overall? I mean, recruiting didn't look as great. I heard you guys on the last episode, not saying to stress too much about it, but we don't really we need some help in the secondary drastically. And like if we had Cam Kitchens this year, how big of a difference would have been on the back end?
Even James Williams.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Even James Williams,
yeah.
as crazy as that
Cam
sounds.
was more of a higher draft pick, so you could see him leaving in the All-America status. But if James had just come back, that would have been huge. Well, listen, man. I mean, so this is what 5-7, 7-6, possibility to then go 11-2. I'm amazed by the amount of people in our fan base that are still not buying in on Mario and still say that this season was a failure because of him. So it's weird to say it, but I think 2025 is a huge year for him, just in terms of how the fan base embraces him. He's going to bring in a new quarterback, or it's going to be a new quarterback, whether it's Emery or he gets someone in the portal. So he's going to have to prove that he can keep this thing going forward with a new guy under center. And I don't think that means 11 wins, but I think it means at least, at the worst, 8 wins and 9 wins, and you're seeing Emery projecting up, the good trajectory coming into the next year when he comes back. But I think it's really a big year for him. He's got to shore up the secondary, because I think that for him to get this fan base on board, he's got to come back with like a 9-3 season next year with a new quarterback, minimum.
Yep. And then you guys think Emery's the guy?
I think so, Toast. I think you nailed it. You can't go all Florida State.
Go ahead, Ro. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do we think Emery's the guy? I think you're going to have to bring in somebody in the portal. I don't know if you're going to get somebody to Cam's kind of potential. If you do, that's the guy you're going to have to rope in. But you're going to have to create the competition, because you just don't have enough there. You have Emery. You've got a couple other unproven guys. You got a guy walking in. I mean, Poffenberger just left. I mean, he would be perfect for this, by the way. The Pitch and Poff, podcast. But Poff's out the door like a vapor, like a smoke in the wind. So you just got to do what you got to do. But I think in that room, the most important room, you're going to have the most amount of depth and competition. Because when Tyler didn't have the competition, you kind of see what happened when maybe he was seeing ghosts on the back end. Nobody was ready to kind of like fill it in. Emery was there, but it's not the iteration that you need for this program to continue to be like a playoff team.
Right. Yeah, Poffengarner was from he played at UAlbany last year up here in the Capital District. So I never heard anything great about it. Like, they were hyping him up because the team was playing good, but there was never anything like when he signed with Miami. I was like, I must be missing something. It was the same thing. It's the
record at Albany the year before in terms of passing yards, like FCS or something. Like, he had a crazy year with Albany. So that's kind of what got him on the radar. Yeah,
and as you know, Toast, it's like the Northeast, man. Besides, a little bit of Jersey with Rutgers, there's not a lot of college football fans up here. It's like
they're Penn State, Notre Dame. It's like through your friend, but there is no Boston College doesn't register, UConn doesn't register, Rutgers doesn't register, and those are really the only 3 major public universities that would have the resources to compete in Division I football, and none of them give a damn. They're all. I mean, Boston College is absolutely lost, but Rutgers and UConn just would care about basketball.
Right. Yeah, I actually I made a Sports Illustrated appearance back in 2006, Rutgers Louisville. My buddy had season tickets to Rutgers. It was a Thursday night game, and I was working up here, and he called me. He's like, "Chance, you want to go to the game tonight?" It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. It's about a 3-hour drive down to Jersey to get to Piscataway. So I'm like, you know what? I had finished up what I was doing, hopped in the car, drove down to the game. The kicker they beat Louisville on the last second field goal. We ran on the field, and the camera caught me. So up here, I got a picture of myself in Sports Illustrated. So I always tell people, I'm in Sports Illustrated, man. I made my highlight, a sports highlight, for sure. But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with the quarterback position, especially if Emery's, he's like you guys say, he's got the toughness, but does he have what it takes to get us to the next level? And that's really where the trajectory of the team has to get us to in the future here. I can't keep taking these 6-6 seasons.
No, that's got to be a thing of the past, man. No, you've got to be past that. You got to be past that. Like if a season backtracks now from if we go 11-2 and you go back to 8-4, the only acceptable reason why that happens is because you're bringing a new quarterback who's young, and there's going to be some growing pains. But by the end of the season, everyone's going to be psyched that quarterback's coming back for another year, because then that's the year that you're going. So as long as that's what we're seeing, that's what you want to see. It doesn't have to be 11 wins every single year, and I don't think that's realistic in this day and age. But you have to be showing that constant momentum moving forward.
Do you guys think Dawson and I don't even want to mention the other guy's name because I didn't want to speak of him. Do you think they stick around, the coordinators?
I know Rose had a little lagginess, so Rose, just jump in when you
I think
want to
Dawson has the opportunity to go get a head coaching job. I mean, this is when his stock options are the highest. He's going to have to try to. Yeah, I'm sorry, boys. Go ahead, Toast.
No, keep going, man. I didn't know you were so delayed.
You're good, Ro. You can let it rip, but we want to hear your opinion on the coordinator situation. He hopped off.
Shit. All right, yeah, he's all right. So
We'll lost him.
He'll be back.
He'll hop on. He had a little slight delay there, but yeah, I'm curious to see just in general what they do if they do move on.
Well, there was a rumor, I don't want to say from who, that that Dawson goes to the Giants with Cam.
I seen that too, and I seen the exact video. I know who you're talking about. We're not going to bring that name up. I actually went to that game at Maryland the night I bought tickets, and the day before they announced all that sanctions and stuff. So that was awesome. I'm like, man, half the team's not playing. Half the guys I'm going to go see aren't even playing.
Well, dude, how cool is it though that it looks like, and not just with Miami and Cam, but it looks like Shador and Travis Hunter are saying that they're going to play. Like a lot of these players all of a sudden now are playing in non-playoff bowl games, which is all of a sudden different. And I got to tell you, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me as well. Especially like a guy like X, man. I want to see him go out on a positive note. He's put everything he's had into this, into the school and the organization, and the guy who a lot of people doubted, the same as Cam. Like people doubted these guys. Go out with a bang, make a statement. Have it be a statement game for sure. But yeah, the coordinator is going to be interesting. You think if Dawson leaves, there's any chance of bringing Dorsey in?
I would advise him. They probably. Yeah, I would advise him to sit out personally. I mean, as a first round pick, I know it's a sexy thing to watch him in the game, but it's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I don't think there's a difference in terms of what it means for Miami if they win 10 games this year or 11 games with the bowl, because you could diminish the bowl by saying it was just a Pop-Tarts win. So I know you want to see it. I know it's sexy to call it a culture thing, and you want him to play and he wants to be a Warrior. I'm not going to talk him out of it, if he really wants to do it. But I really do feel like, hey, stay healthy, stay safe. The bigger tragedy could be that you have more to lose than to gain. And that's where my head's at. So, of course, I want to see him play. But if I was his agent, if I was in his camp, I would tell him sit this one out.
Yeah, it does make sense to sit it out for sure. But at the same time, the old school mentality in me is like, all right, finish what you started kind of thing is what I would like to see.
The Lloyd's of London insurance policy is for, Ro. You take one out for $30-40 million and you're good to go.
No doubt. Oh boy.
Just saying, worst case scenario.
Yeah, what's the premium
you
on
get
that,
a whole
though?
tax-free check. Let's go, man. Invest it wisely and you'll be fine in life.
That's what the NIL money's for, to invest in those insurance. Yeah.
So, there's ways out of it now. So
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited to see. Just to get a bowl win is something we need. We haven't had since 16 and the Russell Athletic Bowl.
That's the biggest thing, man. We got to get that schneid out of here. So it'd be nice to get a win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm going back to the coordinators quick. If Dawson does leave, do you guys think there's a chance of Ken Dorsey jumping on here?
Bro.
What do you think, Toast?
He's with the Browns now, right? Like,
no, did he get picked up by the Browns? I thought he
picked up. I thought he got picked up by the. I'm not sure, but even if he did, Kevin Stefanski calls the plays there, so it's kind of like a in name only. I mean, I guess I don't know. So my issue is he got fired from Buffalo because the offense kind of stalled and he refused to run the ball. And Mario, we got a stable of running backs. Is probably our most talented room. I don't know, man. I mean, I love Dorsey. I'm just not sure that he's not an air raid guy. I don't know that he's going to air it out like Dawson did. I don't know, man. I mean, I get the legacy aspect, but
right.
I it's kind of feel weird to say that I'm not totally in on that, but I'm not totally in on that.
I got you. I would prefer more of a Rhett Lashley style coordinator personally, but I'm interested to hear what Rose got to say for sure. Because I know he's the X's and O's guys of the OBB.
I was a big fan of the Syracuse guy. Can we grab him? Because I was just like, all he needs is that power run game that Mario can provide. I mean, he's up that way in New York. So I was a big fan of that style of offense. I think Shannon Dawson's iteration with Cam, I think the biggest unlock code to that was essentially the quarterback had freedom. Cam Ward had the freedom to check in and out of plays, to run the RPO game, to run the RPO system. So if you can always have that ability for the quarterback that you trust to do that, and then you can underlay it with the protection that Mario can provide with the offensive line, I think that's where you need to go. And I think that's where you need to live in college football right now. I just don't like it when you brought in a guy like Dan Enos and there's just so much ego, or Josh Gaddis, there's ego. They're not really allowing the quarterback a lot of freedom. They don't have the ability to change the call, because that just tells you as a person, like, you think you have the right call every single time. And, this is the ACC. It's dog eat dog, and they have some really good coordinators. And Cam Ward, like, he bet that hold in Syracuse, it's made its rounds. You think this was a holding. What you forget on that is Cam Ward checked into that call. He
Right.
checked into that call. He came up to the line. He made that call happen. Now, it was an egregious hold, but that's what I feel. Whatever system moving forward, you can't have the ego, because you got to be able to trust your quarterback. And if he could change things on the fly, it works. So whoever he brings in, I kind of want it to be kind of like that pass first, run second, but you still have the ability to run people out of the building if you need to.
Yep, and that's what Mario's going to do for sure, is keep recruiting that front seven up there, that front offensive line for sure. To give us what we didn't have in the past was that we didn't have an offensive line 5-6 years ago. We were talking about how we couldn't block, and Malik was running for his life. But
No, not nothing like this.
no, nothing like this at all. But yeah, boys, I appreciate you guys jumping on. I actually do a little bit of a segment I stole from you guys. So you guys were a little bit of a inspiration to me to start the podcast. It was just you and the guys hanging out and chopping it up. And that's kind of like what me and my buddies do about our little golf rounds we play on Sundays, and, hanging out, kicking back, smoking a joint or two. And it was one of those things where I was like, man, these guys are having so much fun doing it. Let me give it a shot. And now I'm 130 episodes in here with the Pitch Puff. So yeah, man, it's been fun. Got to meet a lot of. I mean, I never thought I'd be sitting down chopping up with you two, especially. It's super cool. But I wrap
Anytime,
up. I stole the segment from you guys. You guys do the 5 questions. I'll admit I stole it from you. I do 3 questions. I know Ro's a big fan of it. Toast hates it, but we'll keep it pretty quick. So over the past 20 years, since 2004, who was your favorite Cane that's been on the roster?
Wow.
Because you go before that, there's a lot of
options.
It's
easy before that. Great question. You're making us choose from the mediocrity of years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna go with Santana.
Okay, he's right on that cusp there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Santana, man, no doubt. What do you think, Ro?
Okay. Favorite player in the last 20 years? That's what we're rolling with here?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to say Xavier Restrepo.
Nice.
Okay.
He's recent, but he was my favorite.
Yeah. No.
Stud wide receiver.
I'm going to go with Barrios was mine. Braxton was my guy. Braxton was just the way he carried himself, everything about him, work ethic, overall good dude. And that Notre Dame game. Well, I'll never forget that. The hands behind his back in that Notre Dame game. I have that pictured up here on the wall, man. Signed picture of that on the wall. So Barrios was my guy. Yeah, all good answers, though. I like the Santana one. I got to meet Sonoris back in the day when he played for the Giants.
Nice.
Yep. So I got a few. This is how I got this Kenny Phillips signed jersey here.
Barrios episode for us. Yeah, the Barrios episode for us was remarkable because we had the opportunity. You just understood how much of a driven young man, and he was on my side. He didn't want me to go ahead and get a vasectomy. So me and him were boys from there forevermore. So I was definitely Team Barrios after that, because he was definitely Team Little Rose.
Barrios is the name. Yeah. So I got this with the Giants up here. They had the training camp at UAlbany. So every year I have a Canes hat, football. I always go up there and try to get whatever Cane autograph. So Kenny Phillips, when he played there, I got an intro roll on the other side here in the room. He was walking through the parking lot, and there was no security. So me, I don't give a shit. I walk right through. hey, KP, do you mind signing this real quick? All of a sudden, I got 3-4 security guys on me. You can't be over here. You can't be over here. I'm like, well, listen, man, I don't know what to tell you. He waved me through the parking lot, whatever. So then they like escort me outside the fence. I got the jersey sign. I didn't care at that point. And then Antrell Roll comes out, and I have his jersey as well. And Antrell waves me through security to come get the jersey sign. I walk through like my shit didn't stink. You know, I'm walking up to him. I get the jersey sign, walk past these guys. They're all grilling me like, you asshole. But I got the autographs. It's all that mattered to me at the time.
Nice.
Yeah. It's cool because like I don't get an
All that
opportunity to
matters.
see those guys
Mhm.
like up here. I get to go to games. I didn't go to, so I haven't seen the Canes win since 2012, Duke Johnson's first game, Boston College.
Wow.
I've been to Maryland for that game. I went to the LSU game at Texas Stadium.
That's the game. Our first episode was the recap of that game.
I went to that. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Where else? I've been to a couple Boston College and then the Pinstripe Bowl, back-to-back Pinstripe Bowls that we've been in.
Jesus.
So I purposely did not go to the Syracuse game this year. I live 2 hours from Syracuse. Easy ride, no problem. I went to New York City and helped my buddy with his Christmas tree business instead. Watched it on my phone. And I'm sitting there. I got out of the truck. It was 21-0. I get back in. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. I'm like, this season's over. I said, I knew it right there. The season was over. It was very disappointing, man. It was tough to watch. But I didn't want to be Eddie Mush, so I didn't go to the game because I knew my track record, man. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Superstitious. Superstitious. But let's get into question 2 real quick. What's your best game experience at the OB?
Oh, well, mine's easy, man. It is it's going to be the Brock Berlin game, the Brock Berlin comeback game.
That was 04, right?
It might be a Rose answer as well. We were there together.
Yeah, we were right there together. So it was the loudest when Devin Hester took the opening kickoff back to that. We tried to talk to each other. We were next to each other. We were trying to talk. We couldn't even hear each other. It was that loud. I was like, the only time I ever heard it that loud was a Y100 event. And this is a true story when Diddy came out. So, those are the 2 loudest moments of my life.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's mine too. That's definitely my answer to OBB.
Mine would have to be the Boston College game I went to where they won.
All right.
All right.
My wife actually got me tickets for, it was my 29th or 30th birthday. She got a front row 50-yard line. It was a cool experience. I'm dapping up Duke. Who else was on the team there? Perryman, the linebacker, Denzel. So it was one of I think it was Al Golden's first game, to be honest with you. It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was interesting with the tie and all that shit. But last question to wrap it up. I know you guys got to get going because you're going to be recording tonight. But if you were going to play around the golf and you could put 3 Canes in your foursome, who would they be all time?
All right. So I'm putting Lamar Thomas because he does not shut up. He's just entertaining as hell. So entertaining. I'm throwing down Warren Sapp.
Okay.
And my third one is, I'm going to need somebody to kind of like watch those 2 and just laugh along with. So I'm going to go with Gino.
There you go. All right. Gino will do some boozing too.
Exactly. Yes. I'll be drinking with Gino in the cart and we'll be laughing at Lamar and Warren, like, pulling each other's pants down or whatever.
Yeah. What do you got, bro?
I think for me, it's going to be Michael Irvin because we could talk about like some St. Thomas days and connections. I know it's player. I don't know if I can use this, but Jimmy Johnson, because I definitely want to get on his boat in the Keys. That's just that I'm just opening up that door so I could go like catch some fish. And then finally for me too, Ken Dorsey. So that's my foursome. And I'm gonna have to let them play other than putt because I'm like out of all the OBBs, like you would figure with a baseball background that I would play golf, but I can't. I hit it 300 yards though. I'm a big boy. It's about 150 this way and 150 that way. But if you walk that line, it's 300. So I'm a 300 hitter.
Dude, I get it. I'm a former baseball player myself.
It is.
My biggest problem was I batted lefty, and when I first started playing, I had no right-handed golf clubs. So I taught myself to golf right-handed. So it's kind of been good and bad because I don't have the bad habits of baseball as much. So but it took, this is year 7. I just finished up here, and I went from shooting in the 130s to now I'm in the the mid 80s. So I'm getting there.
Oh,
Just
damn, bro. That's a huge step up.
yeah, it's been a grind though, man. I play 5 days a week trying to get there. So
All right. Must be nice.
yeah, I got a nice little schedule. I go into work at 4 a.m., get out at noon every day. So until I
Oh, I used to have that schedule.
yeah, with the radio show. Yep, it's nice, man.
Yeah, dude, I'd be teeing off at 1 o'clock every afternoon. Are you kidding me?
Yep, 12:21 standing tea time, brother.
Nice. That's great. Good for you. Good for you.
That's awesome. But hey, guys, I truly appreciate you guys jumping on. I love chopping it up. I'd love to get you guys back on in the future for sure. And then when I come down to it, I'm coming down to the season opener next year, the Miami Notre Dame game. So
Okay.
love to link up with you guys as well.
Absolutely, man. It's been
And
fun.
And then Ro, if
Absolutely.
next time you come up to this area, man, hit me up and we'll go grab some drinks or something.
I will.
All right,
I
boys.
will. I definitely will, because that's exactly where the aunt lives, and I go visit.
Perfect, bro. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody tuning in to the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. Talk to you soon.